If you haven't seen Signs yet, what are you doing? It's been over 20 years since its release back in 2002. Films about aliens are a dime a dozen, I know, but I'm going to explain why Signs is suspenseful horror at its best and stands out as a good example of the portrayal of an alien invasion. First, a quick recap. Former pastor Graham wakes up in the morning to hear screaming coming from his cornfield. When he arrives, he and his brother Merrill, along with his children Morgan and Bo, discover giant crop circles have been made there overnight. Graham calls the police as he assumes this was done by local scoundrels. As he and Officer Caroline talk about this and unusual occurrences with animals around the area, Morgan has to kill one of their dogs as he tries to attack Bo. Graham has Merrill tie up their other dog out back as protection. In the middle of the night, Bo wakes Graham to say that a monster is outside her room. When Graham sees a dark figure on the roof, he grabs Merrill and the two run outside in a panic to try to scare away what they assume to be a person away. The figure outmaneuvers them, however, making Merrill believe that whoever it was had to have great physical strength. Crop circles start to pop up all over the world, and for the first time it is suggested that these occurrences could be otherworldly. Graham, Merrill, and Officer Caroline don't buy it and continue to look for rational explanations for what may be happening to them. Graham and his family head into town to try and get back to normal activities, where Morgan buys a book on extraterrestrials, Merrill ruminates about his long-past baseball records, Graham is forced to play priest again for a few minutes, and all of them eat pizza and spot Ray Reddy, a mysterious man connected to a tragedy in Graham's life. Back at home, they all hear strange voices on a baby monitor, where everyone but Graham starts to believe they are dealing with something otherworldly. That night, the dog barks toward the cornfield and Graham runs into the field to catch the perpetrator in action. Just before he runs back to the house in terror, he glimpses a leg sneaking back into the field. Whatever it was fast and maybe not human. They turn on the TV and are told that unidentified crafts are hovering above cities. Graham tells Merrill that there are two kinds of people in the world. People who believe luck is a sign of someone watching over them, and people who believe luck is just coincidence. Merrill declares himself a miracle man, while Graham insinuates his disbelief. We then start to discover through flashbacks that Graham's wife was killed by the mysterious man seen earlier in the film, Ray Reddy, after he fell asleep at the wheel and fatally pinned Graham's wife against a tree while she was out for a walk. After his wife's death, Graham denounced the church and his title as father, having lost faith in God and any signs or miracles. This may also be why Graham is one of the last characters to believe what is happening is just a coincidence, a hoax with rational explanations. Ray Reddy calls and hangs up on Graham, making him take a trip out to see him while Merrill closes himself in a closet to watch TV all day. Graham sees Ray in his truck outside his house, and Ray finally apologizes to Graham for what he did to his wife, where Graham seems to get relief from this. Just before Ray leaves, he tells Graham he trapped an alien in his pantry, and that he's heading toward a lake because he got the sense they may not like water. Graham, still in disbelief over the ordeal, goes to the closed pantry and demands that someone answer. He grabs a reflective knife to see if he can get a view of the other side when a strange hand reaches for him through the crack of the door, and freaking out, Graham cuts off a few of its fingers. Meanwhile, Merrill watches the TV in shock as footage of the alien is revealed for the first time, taken at a kid's birthday party where everyone screams as they see one outside their window. The family, now all understanding of the situation, boards up their house and have a meal together where Graham refuses to pray and comfort his family. But their emotional outpouring ends up bringing them closer together. The aliens arrive outside their house and they head into the basement. One of the aliens tries to grab Morgan through a coal chute, causing him to have a panic attack. Graham calms him down, and the following morning they receive word that the aliens have mysteriously left. They take Morgan upstairs to get his medicine, but when he is left alone, they come back to find the alien Graham cut off the fingers of, holding him hostage. The alien gasses Morgan. Graham has flashbacks of his dying wife telling Meryl to swing away, and he tells him this. Meryl grabs the very same bat that got him fame from the wall and attacks the alien. The alien falls and gets hit by a glass of water, killing it and revealing at the same time its weakness. Morgan's constricted lungs from his asthma saves him from the alien's gas that it is able to release from its wrist. Months later, Graham is Father Graham again, having renewed faith in God, in miracles, and signs. Signs is suspenseful horror done right. It's also a very grounded portrayal of an alien invasion. Now, there are many ways people might react to extraterrestrials, but Signs' showcase of society's indifference, denial, and refusal to believe what is right in front of them seems very real to me. Couple this with the hysteria people have once confronted with the reality of another life form threatening their planet, and what we get is a movie that is a slow build to an epic conclusion, feeling all the while it could be any one of us in that situation. There's not a lot of action or gunfights or human versus alien combat going on here like you might expect from other alien invasion films. In fact, the on-screen presence of the aliens is probably less than 2 minutes. The film takes its time to build suspense and make its audience wonder what the creature is and what it looks like. Is it friend or foe? The way the aliens are glimpsed throughout the film create anxiety and uncertainty. We only see a shadowy figure here, or a leg there. Next, just a hand or just the sound of them communicating. This is a sense of mystery that would be lost if we saw the alien in the opening acts of the film. Allowing for a slow reveal of the aliens inhabiting this world lets the audience's mind wander. I also appreciate how well the two story arcs, the alien invasion and Father Graham's backstory, are so well woven together. The doubts surrounding his faith after his wife's death plays really well against the pending threats facing him during the invasion. To protect his family, he has to face his inner demons, and by doing so, he finds the signs he needs to act. I think the movie is also just good filmmaking. From the little details like seeing the faded outline of a cross on the wall, to using real crop circles instead of CGI, to having scenes where multiple things are happening at once, like when Graham is telling his children about the day they were born while the aliens are trying to get in their house, to its use of foreshadowing when we are told about Bo's obsession with water and leaving glasses all around, to Meryl's baseball backstory. Not much screen time is wasted in this film, and the plot lines merge together by the end where not much is left unanswered. In fact, we are led to believe the writing on the wall was there all along. The bat, the water, Graham's wife telling him to tell Meryl to swing away. That we just had to see the signs. It all presented seamlessly and leaves the audience to wonder for themselves. The soundtrack is a win for me too. It's mysterious and melodramatic, creating mystery without being too intrusive. All in all, I think Signs is an alien invasion movie deserving attention. It's suspenseful horror done right. For those looking for an extraterrestrial movie with a slow burn, without in-your-face action or violence, this movie might be for you. Signs deserves a B+.